Wildflower International. This is the big race within this Road Racing Ireland magazine, Kirkistown International meeting. The front row headed there by Jeremy McWilliams, so there's every chance of another local victory here, but of course Hislop, the man who's beaten him already once today, is going to be the man to beat. McWilliams, Hislop on the Honda, then Morrison on the Kawasaki, Moody on the very quick Norton, Whittam on another Yamaha, and Simon Beck, a surprise front row qualifier on the Ducati. So 5 makes of motorcycle across the front row. 15 laps, 22.44 miles, the full distance, and watch for number 10, watch for number 2, and watch for number 20. But it's Simon Beck. Simon Beck on the Ducati, shaking its head violently from the left-hand side of the row. Simon Beck must think all his birthdays have come at once, because this is amazing stuff. Somebody already onto the grass, running wide down the slip road. Not one of the front runners, so the challenge will be still very much alight at the end. The Ducati leads. No, it doesn't. James Whittam on the Yamahas relegated Beck to 3rd, because someone has gone through with him, and the positions are changing so quickly here. Your guess is as good as mine. Hislop, I can see with a pink helmet, is in 5th, and he is alongside Jeremy McWilliams, so the 2 key players are in 5th and 6th places. It's the Norton of Jim Moody in 2nd. James Whittam, number 2, leads. Moody, number 21, in 2nd. Brian Morrison, a double winner here at Kirkistown, and there's Hislop, number 10. 3rd place man on the Kawasaki, Brian Morrison, winner in 91, winner in 92. He would dearly love to make it 3 in a row. Hislop looking for his first win here at Kirkistown, certainly in recent years. James Whittam, winner of the event in 1988, so they've all had their fair share of glory at this Kirkistown circuit, but the man behind Steve Hislop, number 10, and it's the 5th man in your picture I'm talking about, his local hero, Grand Prix star Jeremy McWilliams, who rushes his Yamaha past Hislop into 4th place. McWilliams means business. He's in 4th. The yellow and red livery of the Joe Miller Yamaha is in 4th place. But out in front now, it's Moody, number 21, and look at the Kawasaki of Morrison climbing all over him. McWilliams is ahead of Hislop. This is breathtaking stuff already. And they have 15 laps in this race at this sort of frantic pace. Jim Moody, very much on a high, double TT winner, injuring his knee, is suffering with damaged knee ligaments, but it doesn't show at the moment, does it? Flicking it through the chicane again. Jim Moody then, the Glaswegian, riding number 21, leads on the Crichton Norton. This could sadly be the last year we see these rotary engine Nortons in competition, because Brian Crichton, no longer employed by the Norton factory. The official team have no promises from Norton with regard to their future, so it could well be that Brian Crichton and Colin Seeley, the team manager, are obliged to turn to alternative machinery. But I'm sure we would all love to see this Norton, which is very competitive, quite radical and totally different, being a rotary engine bike, remain in full-time national competition. Jim Moody has taken to it like a duck to water. He leads Morrison. Whittam is now down in 3rd. Brian Morrison, number 5, in 2nd place, going for 3 in a row here at Kirkistown. And Jeremy McWilliams and Steve Hislop providing the spice in the curry. Further down the action, they really are going. Any one of these 5 riders can win this. Morrison now leading. Moody gone down to 3rd. Whittam scrapping with Moody. I just hope it doesn't all end in tears here, because it's pretty close company. Brian Morrison, number 5, leading by some 50 yards as they go across the line again. Moody, number 21, going through, throwing caution to the window. Look at Whittam rushing the fast orange Yamaha past again. Number 2, James Whittam, the 27-year-old from Huddersfield, riding out of his leathers. A great ride by Whittam, also in the World Superbike race. Last week, Whittam stormed home to a good result in the 2nd leg with 3rd place. and was lying in runner-up spot in the first leg when a front poacher took him out on the 5th lap. So definitely a man with a bright future. Whittam has had talks with Ducati with regard to a World Superbike ride next year. He is in 2nd place in this race, but there is a bevy of riders headed by Jeremy McWilliams swarming all over him. McWilliams now number 20 up to 3rd place. McWilliams up to 3rd place and threatening the Yamaha of James Whittam. That's a Yamaha 4-stroke number 2 and a proper Joe Miller V4 500cc 2-stroke Grand Prix machine. Only the 2nd time it's appeared here in Jeremy McWilliams' native homeland. The crowds have turned out in force to witness. 21 Jim Moody then, sucking the short straw at the moment in 5th place, because Brian Morrison, and let's just talk about Morrison for a second. This man, heading for his 3rd win in a row here at Kirkistown, was on the point of lifting the World Endurance Motorcycle Championship when at the last round in Sweden, when they were 5 minutes ahead of the rest of the field, the bike blew to bits. Morrison then lost the World Endurance title in the very last round. So bitter disappointment for the 31-year-old from Kirkcaldy, but he's making amends here. He runs this Team Green racing effort all on his own since Kawasaki withdrew their official race team from the UK scene in 1992. Morrison bought the van, bought the bikes, and he has done very, very well indeed in 1993. 2nd place then, Jeremy McWilliams in 2nd. Again, Whittam looking over his shoulder. He can see the VFR 750 Honda of Steve Hislop, the man with the pink helmet, riding number 10 in 4th place, and that's an ultra-light, ultra-quick, bristling with titanium metal factory machine. The 2-stroke Yamaha in 2nd place. The 4-stroke Kawasaki leads. Look at Whittam, tucked in behind number 20. So number 2, James Whittam, 27-year-old from Huddersfield, and his Yamaha not handling as well as the much lighter Grand Prix machine of Jeremy McWilliams. The big 4-stroke's proving to be a bit of a handful. Having said that, one is leading the race. That's the gap that Morrison has. That's unbelievable. Brian Morrison really giving the crowd something to shout about here. Incredibly good performance from Brian Morrison on his way to a hat-trick. Let's keep our fingers crossed he stays on board. The Kawasaki just about proving to be a match, and look at Hislop coming through on the inside of Whittam. Steve Hislop and Whittam fighting back. Steve Hislop's out-braking manoeuvre let him run just a little bit wide, and Hislop, winner of the first 750 race here, is having to work desperately hard because James Whittam is on the ragged edge. Just look at the way the Yamaha is shaking. Just watch the number 2 bike shaking its head and waggling away, and at the back of the bunch, number 21 Jim Moody is sitting there watching all of this and just wondering if 4th place is going to be handed to him on a plate. Nothing between these 4. Brian Morrison, meanwhile, disappearing out of camera shot, is having a whale of a time at the front of the race, but McWilliams very quick on the fastest part of the circuit, as you would expect from a full works, well, not a full works Yamaha, but certainly a Yamaha which can hold its own with the best in the world. McWilliams finishing just outside the top 20 in the world in his first full Grand Prix season on the Joe Miller Yamaha. And I was talking with the team earlier on. They have no firm plans, or at least they have no plans that they can discuss about their 1994 season. An awful lot of talking going on, but they are fairly tight-lipped about what form their racing effort will take in 1994. It would be a great shame if the Joe Miller Yamaha wasn't seen on the world scene. Having said all of that, we like to see our best riders at home, don't we? Because they provide entertainment and they provide the spectacle which not only attracts the crowds to the meetings, but also provides fantastic armchair viewing for you at home. Race leader, Brian Morrison from Kirkcaldy, number 5, with a clear advantage over a wasp's nest, I think is the only way I can describe it. There are 4 men, any one of which can lift second place, but they are going to have to do something very special to take the lead from this man, unless a misfortune should befall him. Doesn't that look a big motorcycle? Look at the width of the petrol tank. Morrison hardly able to stretch his arms round the tank onto the handlebars. Long way behind them now. 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place. And this 4-man tussle developing into 2 separate ones, I think, for 2nd and 3rd. 2nd place still Jeremy McWilliams. Steve Hislop, number 10, then still in 3rd. Kawasaki leads, 2-stroke Yamaha number 20 in 2nd, 4-stroke 750 Honda number 10 in 3rd. Then we have a 4-stroke Yamaha in 4th, and the rotary engine Norton with Jim Moody on board in 5th. Hislop closing again. This is a carbon copy of the battle we had in the first 750 race here today, with one exception. There was no one in front of them that time, but there very much is someone in front of them this time, and it's Brian Morrison, number 5, with a tail ender right ahead of him. Morrison is lapping the back markers already. This international circuit here at Kirkistown, 1.496 miles. And we've had the Sunflower International here since 1987. A regular favourite in the Northern Ireland calendar. Number 27, the tail ender, about to be lapped. And I have to say he's anonymous because he is not in the programme. So a late entry, number 27, but it makes no matter because he's a tail ender.
0.
So does, I think, Moody. Yes, it is. I was going to say James Whittam, but it's Moody. Moody has got past the Yamaha of Whittam and is closing now, and he's closing in on the rest of them. Look at number 21, Jim Moody. 27's the tail ender. He's getting in the way of McWilliams. McWilliams is being balked, well and truly, as Hislop goes through. They're going either side, but Hislop scored the points. Hislop scored the points from that tail ender who got clearly in the way of Jeremy McWilliams. And through again goes Moody. So in the space of 500 yards, McWilliams goes from 2nd to 4th. Not good news. At this moment in time, he's off the rostrum. But he's back. He's back on the rostrum. He's up to 3rd. This is sensational stuff here from Kirkistown. Jeremy McWilliams in 3rd. Just look at the speed of that Yamaha. Grabs a big handful and it goes. Down towards the hairpin, 2nd gear, 40 miles an hour. Feeding the power in on the little bumpy section down towards the start finish area. Short shifting into 5th, and I mean changing gear very quickly. Detter's dip. The left-hander, McWilliams chasing Hislop, number 10 then, down towards the right-hander of Colonial 1. Steve Hislop, number 10, safely round Colonial 1 towards the little kink left-hander Colonial 2, and then the sweeping right of Fisherman's. Morrison already out of Fisherman's, heading towards the chicane. Right and left, there's Morrison, the green livery of the Kawasaki, on the fastest part of the circuit. Those are tail enders still. Heads down, tails up. We're waiting for Hislop and Jeremy McWilliams, and one of them has run on. Run on, there's Hislop, green fairing, red hat. There's the race leader, number 5, Brian Morrison. Checkered flag is out. Morrison got the win. Great stuff. 15 laps then, the fist in the air, 3 in a row for Brian Morrison. A hat-trick of wins here at Kirkistown. A well-fought 2nd place for Hislop. Moody and Jeremy McWilliams disputing 3rd. As to which one of them got the verdict, we will give you the update, but it was a close thing. There's your winner, Brian Morrison.